Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we got a big update around former President Donald Trump, who's of course now running for president again. He was the victim of an assassination attempt. Thankfully, he's fine. He was just slightly injured, but of course, it was a crazy weekend with this news, and he seems to be in good spirits. He seems to be fine. In fact, David Bailey, who's the CEO of the Bitcoin conference, which is taking place in Nashville this year, said he spoke to the president's team. He says he is in good spirits and excited to see you all in Nashville and deliver a speech that is heard around the world. So, big update there. Once again, first, that the Donald Trump is okay. We don't condone any type of violence. You can disagree politically, but we don't have to go to violence, right? Let's settle our differences through democracy and not violence. And thankfully, he's okay. He's going to be at the Bitcoin conference. So, just a crazy weekend, folks, and stay safe out there. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin. Guys, we're seeing something interesting here on the charts, and that is Bitcoin has broken out of the downtrend it has been in for months now, and looking like a V-shaped recovery is taking place on the charts here. So we look at the daily chart. We see some green candles, Bitcoin over $61,000 at the time of recording. Here's what some analysts are saying. Matthew Hyland says Bitcoin closes the weekly back into the consolidation range and has invalid last week's breakdown close, confirms the false breakdown. The expectation is a continuation of the uptrend out of this consolidation range. Now, that is certainly the expectation, but we have to let it prove itself. I have often stated, let these rallies prove themselves, because we've seen the market fake us out before, guys. Markets can easily play tricks on you, right? I've been here for a long time and I've seen it time and time again. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I am bullish on the macro, of course. I believe we're headed to new all-time highs again, and Bitcoin will cross $100,000. Now, is that a guarantee? Of course not. But we're using the different facts and metrics to form our thesis. We are talking probabilities here. There's a bearish probability and a bullish probability. I know people want certainty. If you want certainty, go play the lottery. You'll have more certainty than investing in the markets. But if you want to make great returns and exercise some patience and learn some chart analysis and how the world works with global liquidity and much more, then stick around. And here, Crypto Wizard, another great analyst, highlighted the following on the Bitcoin chart, that indeed we are breaking out here, but it won't be a straight line up. You're going to see some volatility on the way up, pump, pull back, and so forth, until we build some strength. And then, you have those Bitcoin $10,000 days or $10,000 candle days and so forth. So we got to be patient. It's going to work its way out. From his charting here, he's showing that in August is when we're going to see a lot of strength for Bitcoin to move back above, let's say 74,000, then work its way to the 90,000 range, which will probably be into September. But we got to be patient. He says it seems like there's a Wyckoff accumulation pattern taking place here, and it will take Bitcoin to new highs. So I'm in agreement with him. Some external macro factors that we're paying attention to, which is conducive to Bitcoin and crypto pumping to new highs, is the DXY, the dollar currency index, continues to break downwards. It's showing a lot of weakness. So that's a very good sign. And as I've been stating, we could see the Ethereum spot ETF approvals come this week, which would pour gasoline on the fire and send the market going a bit crazy. Nate Geraci, president of ETF Store, said the following today: "Welcome to the spot ETH ETF approval week. I'm calling it. Don't know anything specific. Just can't come up with a good reason for any further delay at this point. Issuers ready for launch." So everything's in, folks. All the amendments and the updated applications are in. It's just now up to Gary Gensler. Will he approve this week? It's possible, because last week the SEC dropped a bunch of cases, one against the Binance stablecoin, the other was against Stacks, the layer 2 on Bitcoin blockchain. So some interesting things happening overall. And I think Democrats are in a losing position when it comes to crypto. Ro Khanna tried to do some stuff last week with the Crypto Roundtable, but it might be a bit too late. And Donald Trump is picking up a lot of momentum, especially after yesterday's crazy situation. So Donald is pro crypto. He's going to be a Bitcoin 2024 Nashville. So I think it's too late for the Democrats, in my opinion. Now, the other macro factor I've been telling you guys about is the M2 money supply, right? We look at the global liquidity, and we've seen asset prices are highly correlated to this. The asset prices rise as global liquidity increases. And it's not just the Fed in the United States, but it's also China and other countries. They inject liquidity, they print more money. We know quantitative easing is a tool that they use, but it's not always quantitative easing that drives the money supply up. So here, Dr. Jeff Ross says, if this potential breakout in the global M2 money supply doesn't excite you, then we are not the same. If the breakout holds and a new upside trend develops, then I will officially transition from Dr. Bullcrab to Dr. Bull. You've been warned. So guys, what he's showing here is, of course, very much in the short term, but we know long term, they have to go back to money printing. It's how the system functions. It's how the world works in the fiat currency world. Maybe that is changed in the future because of blockchains and CBDCs and stablecoins. But right now, this is how the world works. And the more money they keep printing, the higher asset prices will go. They have to keep financing the debt and paying for all the things that they keep doing. And here in the United States, we've seen them continue to raise the debt ceiling, right? And this is both Democrats and Republicans, because none of them can do anything about this. It all goes back to how central banks work and how the current fiat money system works, guys. And if we want to change it, we want to have some new Bretton Woods version 3, 4, whatever it is, then maybe that's down the line with crypto and blockchain. So these are factors I'm looking at, guys. Notice I'm looking at multiple factors, multiple metrics, right? I want to get a holistic view of the markets so I am as educated and informed as possible. I don't want to have tunnel vision and only look at charts. I don't want to only look at the money supply. I don't want to only look at the DXY and narratives like the Ethereum ETF. I want to look at it all together to see this 360 view of this market and what we can anticipate, because I'm here to make money. Now, guys, one analyst, 360 trader, who I followed for a long time, he does some great chart analysis. He highlighted XRP's pump that we saw yesterday. And I personally think XRP was pumping due to the anniversary of Judge Torres's ruling, which was July 13, 2023, that XRP intrinsically is not a security. Well, here's what he had to say. XRP, in accordance with the rhythm of the cycle, same time rhythm here as last cycle, 57 cents recapture is the nail in the coffin for bears, all in order and in accordance with the rhythm of the cycle, period. He also adds that XRP just reclaimed a key year-long trend line, also has double bottom bear trap here. That's probably it for the lows. We should visit $4 plus this cycle. Blue chips taking back key terrain is a green flag for what is coming. So let me break this down. Let's look at the XRP chart. So if we zoom in a bit here, we see that we had that pump. Nothing to write home about, but it's something you want to see because it moves in phases, right? We break out, we build support levels, and then because we have those support levels, we can keep moving up. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. So this is where the charts come in. You want to see what's happening with XRP, what's happening with this token, and so forth. So good sign that we're breaking upwards here, but we got a far way to go. Don't get me wrong. Personally, when I do the Fibonacci model on this chart going off of the last cycle's highs, which is around $2, and of course that bull market was cut short because of the SEC, the 3.618 takes us near it looks like $6, so just over $6. Is this a certainty? Of course not. It's a probability. But he's saying $4 plus, so it could easily go to $5 this at the peak of this cycle, and possibly a bit higher, maybe over $6. So I know some people are gonna say, dude, what about $10? What about this? Well, I can only go off of what the charts are telling me here. If it goes beyond 6, then that's great, but that's not a certainty. So this is where I try to tell you guys that we're dealing with probabilities here. I do believe XRP is going to move, and as a 360 trader said, blue chips are going to move. So we saw a lot of liquidity go into meme coins. I think that liquidity will now cycle to the blue chip cryptos like XRP, Cardano, and so forth, and those are going to have their run up. It's almost like what happened in the last cycle where NFTs were kind of the primer for the bull market. It brought in the attention of retail, it brought more people in, and then the liquidity went to actual tokens that did well. But as stated, none of this is guaranteed. This is why you diversify. There's no guarantee this is going to happen. I think there is a high probability, and this is why I still hold XRP in my portfolio, but I hold Solana, I hold AVAX, I hold HBAR, I hold Cardano, and so forth. I'm putting my bets in different tokens for different reasons. I've got a bunch of AI tokens like Fetch and Render, which have already pumped significantly and made me money, but I want to make more money. So I'm just being very transparent with you guys and letting you know there are people who get emotional about this stuff, religious about this stuff, and they can't see past their bags. They can't see the facts that, hey, you need to diversify. The token that you're betting on may not perform the way you want to. So this is why you need to diversify. You need to look at different narratives. You need to look at the charts and so forth. Not fairy tales, not made up conspiracy theories, but what is happening with the development team, who's investing, what technology are they launching, what are the charts telling us, and so forth. I'm looking at those factors because there are YouTubers and people who make up all kinds of nonsense. I don't know where they come up with this stuff, but if you're looking to conspiracy theories to invest, good luck. It's not going to work out well for you. So guys, I am bullish on XRP. That's the TLDR. It's looking good here on the charts. And as 360 Trader said, we could see $4 plus. I think that's highly possible because of what we're seeing on the charts. And I think a narrative that could go along with XRP's move is that the final resolution of the SEC Ripple lawsuit where Ripple pays their fine and it's done. It's done. And in addition to having the clarity and being relisted on exchanges, there's no more dark cloud hanging over Ripple and XRP. And I think it'll be really good for the price of XRPs. Guys, a great place where you can buy XRP and other altcoins and Bitcoin is on Uphold. It is a platform I've been using since 2018. They have 260 plus cryptocurrencies. They're available in over 150 countries. And they are transparent, guys. They have transparency reports. They are fully reserved, so they don't commingle or lend out your funds. I've interviewed the CEO, CFO, and many folks, so I can vouch for this platform. Once again, I'm a user. So if you'd like to learn more about Uphold, check out the link in the description. All right. I just mentioned AI, some AI tokens like Fetch and Render. Well, AI is a big narrative in the stock market as well as in crypto. So we got some news here. The funding, top VCs reveal why they invested $85 million in AI crypto startup Sentient. Now, this is the first time I'm hearing about this project. I have not heard about it at all, but let me give you the details. The funding round that caught my attention the most in the past 2 weeks was Sentient. The AI crypto startup pulled off the biggest seed funding round in the crypto industry this year, raising an impressive $85 million. The round was co-led by three high-profile investors: Peter Thiel's Founders Fund, Pantera Capital, that's Dan Moorhead, and Framework Ventures, with additional participation from other notable backers. So the reporter says here, as I reported at the time, Sentient raised this massive amount in just 3 months despite being in a very early stage of developing its platform. The specifics of the platform's functionality are still under wraps. So what about Sentient has drawn investors to bet big on it? I interviewed all three co-lead investors of Sentient and three of its participating investors. Each of them is most impressed by Sentient's four founders or core contributors: Polygon Matic's Sandeep Naiwal, distinguished engineering professors Pramod Vishwanath and Himanshu Tyagi, and AI venture development startup Census, founded by Kenzie Wang of Symbolic Capital. This team's background and capability played a big role in investors' decision to back Sentient. The main thing about Sentient really comes down to the quality of the team. Joey Krug, partner at Founders Fund, told me, I've known both Sandeep and Pramod for years. He said, adding that they are really sharp in their respective technological fields. Besides the team, Sentient's investors are also impressed by its vision. The startup aims to develop a community-built open-source artificial general intelligence AGI platform. AGI is a type of AI designed to perform any intellectual task that a human can do and potentially surpass human abilities in many areas. Creating AGI is a major aim of big AI giants like OpenAI, Google DeepMind, and Amazon-backed Anthropic. While current AI models like ChatGPT excel with specific tasks, they don't process general intelligence capabilities akin to human cognition. Sentient aims to directly compete with OpenAI-like organizations, but differs in its approach to building open source monetizable AGI with community contributions. So I think that's the differentiator, compared to what's happening outside of crypto, is that with tokens and blockchain, you can do a lot more community driven items, more tasks can be incentivized, and you can crowdsource more people to come in. So I think it makes sense. Obviously, we'll have to see what type of product they put out, but I'm going to keep an eye on this given the amount of capital that's coming in and some big backers. So this is why I share this news with you guys, because you can then take this news and then start doing your own research, which I always recommend to you guys. Do your own research, verify what I'm telling you, right? And then if there's a token and the project is solving a real world problem and it looks, like it has a lot of potential, then you can take a bet. You can invest, right? I'm not telling you to. I'm just saying that's how you want to approach it. That's how I approach it. That's how I learned about Fetch and Render and bought in December 2022 and January 2023. And you have to keep up with this stuff. You have to read. You have to spend the hours. You have to skip the Netflix show and TV and take some time to learn about this, because financial education is so important. So this looks promising, and AGI and AI, we know, guys, it's part of the future and how things are going to function in our economy. So big news here. And this is something, like I said, I'm going to continue to monitor. And if I do invest, if there is an investment opportunity, I'll let you guys know if I do take a position. Now, there is some underfunding news being reported by Blockworks. So Partior raises $60 million to support international network growth. Let me give you some details here. A little under $100 million was raised by funding rounds mentioned in this week's roundup. The biggest round came from blockchain payment network Partior, which raised $60 million in a Series B. The blockchain payment network's round was led by Peak XV partners, or 15 partners, if I'm reading that right, and also saw contributions from Jump Trading Group and Valor Capital Group. The network is a joint venture between founding shareholders JP Morgan and Temasek, which both participated in this round as a previous investor, as well as DBS. Standard Chartered is also part of the joint venture and an investor in this round. Those names, banks. And the biggest bank, JP Morgan. So this is something I want to keep an eye on. So improving liquidity management for both corporate and financial institutions is imperative in a world where many companies operate around the clock globally. The company said in a press release, Standard Chartered, JP Morgan, and DBS all use Partior. Very interesting. This new round of funding will enable the advancement of new capabilities like intraday FX swaps, cross-currency repos, programmable enterprise liquidity management, and just-in-time multi-bank payments. The investment will significantly support Partior's international network growth and the integration of additional currencies. The release continued. Right now, Partior supports US dollars, Singapore dollar, and the euro. So very interesting stuff here, guys. And here are some other notable raises. Blast-based token distribution protocol Zap announced a $15 million raise. The round was led by Rarestone, Cypher Capital, and Sharding Capital. Crypto startup Rome Protocol raised $9 million to bring modular services on Solana to the Ethereum network. DeFi fixed rate lending protocol Term Finance announced it raised $5.5 million. The round was led by Electric Capital. Now, I recently interviewed the folks at Electric Capital. I'll be publishing that interview this week. They have, as far as asset under management, over $2 billion, and it's all in crypto. So, guys, this is very bullish. These companies are not investing to lose money. They see what's on the horizon, how early we are. And, I've been telling you guys about this bull market cycle. I plan to take money off the table, obviously, and then reinvest in the bear market for the next bull market in 2028. So I'm looking long term. I've often told you guys I'm looking at this from the macro standpoint. Now, final news item here, we got some crypto hiring news. So I love to take a look at this and see who's coming into crypto and who's moving around, right? So crypto hiring, Schwab veteran joins Bitcoin-focused platform. So, a former executive at Charles Schwab has joined Bitcoin financial services firm OnRamp as president of its managed wealth division. Rich Kerr spent the last 31 years at the traditional financial giant, he told Blockworks. He was most recently Charles Schwab's managing director of income and wealth solutions, according to his LinkedIn profile. It's amazing to see how many people are leaving TradFi and coming into crypto, not to mention other industries. Moving ahead, we got also naming a new president and CEO this week was Canada-based investment firm Cypherpunk Holdings. Leah Wald co-founded Valkyrie Investments and served as its CEO for several years. CoinShares acquired Valkyrie's ETF business in March, with Wald staying on to oversee the company's private funds. Some other notable moves. Ex-CFTC official Joshua Sterling has joined Milbank LLP. His practice is set to focus on regulatory and enforcement issuers tied to derivatives, financial market infrastructure, and crypto, the company said. Oros Ventures to invest in the digital assets and Web3 sectors named Julian Oshakur, if I'm saying that right, as its leader. This person previously held operating and advisory roles at XBTO, JP Morgan, and Brevin Howard. Finally, Daniel Schaumburger, former chief legal officer at the Web3 Foundation, is now general counsel at Mina Foundation. So, folks, talent continues to pour into the crypto industry as well as capital. Bullish times are ahead. Let me know what you guys think about this news. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Be sure to subscribe. Also, grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto. It's available on Amazon in paperback and digital. Grab a copy for yourself as well as your friends and family who want to learn about crypto. I cover crypto's past, present, and future. I include investing tips and much more. If you bought a copy already, please leave a rating and review on Amazon. It will really help me out. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.